Ooh, that's good. That's good. Welcome. Well. If we don't meet again, how goes it? How do you do? My buddy Big Fish used to say that. Big Bry. How do you do? Love them. Man, when you grow up in Massachusetts, everyone's a character. You just grow up around a cast of characters. I love it. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Rob. I go live every single weekday. Every weekday. Today is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday. Today's Friday. What's up, bandito? Bandito suavecito. We are going to talk about flying cars, St. Luigi, and well, there's a couple other things. Diddy's lawyer dipped out. I don't know if you heard the news, but one of his 6 lawyers did not put in a reason. You have to put in a reason for the judge to prove it. You have to give a good reason. And the lawyer is saying, hey, my reason is part of the attorney-client privilege, and I can't tell you the reason, and I'm guessing it's fucking gnarly. I'm guessing this guy just had a moral and ethical dilemma, and that's why this is one of 6. He has 6 defense lawyers working his case. Diddy, Sean Diddley Combs. And this dude's lawyer is just like, think about how gnarly that is. One on the team of 6 lawyers for Sean Diddley Combs, Puff Dat Diddley, dropped out. Hasn't given a reason. I'm hoping he has to disclose a reason for the judge to approve his dismissal from the case. So far, no reason in the article I linked down below. He has not given a reason, but you gotta pray that, like, he spills some beans. I'm guessing it would hurt his case, but he's probably like, this dude's guilty as hell. I can't do this, you know? He's like, I'm too old for it. I feel like saying that all the time. I'm too old for this sugar. So we'll talk a little more about Diddy, talk about the flying cars. Meta, if you didn't hear, Meta is allowing their executives to get a 200% bonus. They got a 200% bonus structure, all while Meta is also laying off 4,000 employees. So case discovery must be nightmare fuel. Oh my God, Bandito. When more stuff comes out, I'm going to be glued to it, but at the same time, you're right. You got to remember, this is real life. This is not some made for Netflix work of art. This Diddy is a real life villain. There's real evil in the world, and it goes, Jesus. What's agree you talk about? What's up, Bizrak? Danielle Berry Sports Berry. Cheers. Cheers to you, Sports Highlights. Ali Armageddon. That's a cool name. Everybody hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I am Rob. Bro. St. Luigi has court upcoming. I believe it's his first court case in March. And we're going to talk about the flying car, which, by the way, I called it. I hate to do this, folks, but I called it. I knew how they were going to do the flying car. If you haven't seen pictures of the flying car that did the test fly, you can't call it a drive, the test flight around the fake city in Santa Mateo, I think it was called, in California, NorCal. But this flying car, it's a drone with wheels. Hate to break it to you, everybody, but it's just a drone, and it's got little wheels on all 4 corners. And I've been saying for a long time, whoever wants to have the $1 million idea and forever be known in the lore of Americana history to create the hoverboard, all you need to do is create a powerful enough drone to put under a skateboard. And we have the hoverboard. That's it. Okay? Patent pending, unless you're a scientist. If you're a scientist, go ahead. Or engineer, I should say. If you're an engineer or a drone smith, that's what they should call people who work on drones, drone smiths. That's like a Joe Rogan terminology. You're going to toughen up the words. I'm a drone smith. I'm an engineer smith. I'm a code smith. So a bad car and a bad aircraft. Bandito. Listen, I don't know if it's a bad car. Listen, I'll say this. Aleph, A-L-E-F, Aleph Aeronautics. It's an aeronautical company. They're the ones who created it, and it looks legit. It looks... We'll get into it. We will get into it. But let me say this first. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I go live every weekday. I would love for you to join me. This is news commentary, newsmentary, as I've branded it, with some comedy, satire, occasional debate, discussion. We're conversationalists here. We're raconteurs. But I'm going to do a little something different, too. When I'm addressing people who might subscribe. This channel is welcome for all, but let me just do things a little different than YouTubers traditionally do. Here's where you might not want to subscribe. If you believe people need to work 2 jobs or get a skill, which, by the way, a lot of the skilled labor still doesn't pay enough. A lot of people are underpaid. Their salaries have not kept up with inflation over the past decade. But if you're one of those people who thinks that people need to work multiple jobs to be able to live in the greatest country in the world, the reason why we're in this predicament where rent's so high, no one can buy a home, everybody lives with their parents until they're 50. Or if you're one of those people who doesn't believe in universal health care, if you think kids that need wheelchairs should have to get approval from some private insurance company, which then they have to go through the denial phase of that, and then the claims adjusting phase where they have to go to years of court cases to litigate it to finally get an approval for a kid who just needed a wheelchair, a specialty wheelchair. If you're a person who doesn't believe in universal health care, if you're a person who thinks people need to work 3 jobs because I did it when I was young, the epitome of not only selfishness, but also the epitome of, like, fucking prove to me that you really didn't have it hard by telling me, like, how much you suffered and you want people to suffer. Most of the people that I know that have suffered and, like, suffered through great tragedy are usually the ones who would turn around and go, I would never wish that upon anyone, my worst enemy. I would never want somebody to have it that hard. I'm fortunate to have survived, and I'm fortunate to come out prosperous, and I want it to be better for other people. Those are the real ones. So let me just say, if you're someone who doesn't believe in universal health care, doesn't believe minimum wage should pay a living wage, this channel is not for you, okay? It's just not for you. Don't subscribe, unsubscribe, get the fuck out of here. Go to Ben Shapiro, Jesse Waters, wherever you want to go. And I know this is not typical. Everybody's used to being force-fed this whole click and subscribe, and it doesn't matter who my audience is. I just want to get paid, and I just want sponsorship so I can sell you MeUndies or whatever the hell they're selling this week. A plot in Scotland to be called a lord or lady. I ain't the guy. I ain't the one, okay? My first sponsorship, I pray to God. I'll show you what I pray to God it's going to be. This. I want to sell toothpicks. Toothpicks that I love. They're tea tree oil toothpicks straight from Australia. Okay? So I ain't going to be a typical YouTuber. That's right. I'm probably the only one who told you. If you don't believe in universal health care, if you think kids should be denied wheelchairs, that's a real story. If you think adults, people with disabilities, people with conditions need to get a better education to get a skill so they can fucking afford to live. That phrase bugs me, afford to live. No one, if this is the greatest country in the world, we're the richest nation in the world, nobody should have to afford to live. People with disabilities that I know should not have to fucking, or you know what, just regular people shouldn't have to incur massive debt, which should be written off as a tax write-off, folks. If we have to have a degree for a certain job, you should be able to write it off like a tax write-off, just like these asshole CEOs who write off their yacht tax and their private plane tax. And I know I'm going into a little tirade, but let me just say, I ain't the one. You're so right, Adelante, 742. Everything you're talking about are symptoms of late-stage capitalism. Welcome to the Socialist Marxist live stream, folks. Thank you. But I just feel like I got to get that out of the way. Because I love to make jokes. I'm trying to write a TV sitcom right now about working at a coffee shop in late-stage capitalist America. But I'm not the one. Like, if you're a Ben Shapiro fan or you get your news from Jesse Waters and Fox News, like, we're never going to agree. Number one, because you think money equals intelligence, and that just shows how stupid you are. And I want the world to be better for kids. I want this generation not to suffer. Too many people my fucking age, or pardon pardon my bias, but a lot of these white dudes that look like they've had a lot of privilege in their life, like to come at me like I had to work really hard to get where I am. And the sad truth is a lot of them who I know their backstory, they didn't. They lived in the same town, most likely with their parents until they hit 30, until they could afford to buy a house. So it's just like those people can go fucking bark up a different tree. I'm here to try to improve the world. I'm here to ensure that kids don't have to suffer. I'm here to bring you news, entertainment, talk about flying cars. But I'm also here to tell you that if you think the Confederate flag is cool, if you think, DEI, which by the way includes veterans, and I'm telling you that because my aunt works at the VA, and I can't go into that, But what's up, Jacob? But I'm just here to say, like, I would love for you to subscribe, but this channel ain't for everybody. Yes, it's comedy, entertainment based. We make believe and hallucinate the news, and we do commentary. But shit, if you ever hang a Confederate flag, get the unsubscribe and leave. Okay, I want to weed out. I want to make sure that if we're going to have a discussion or debate, it's about furthering the cause, and the cause being making it better for the next generation. If you think occupying Mars is cool, get out of this channel. Leave. Go somewhere else. Go to Mars. Okay, I'll tell you what. I want to spend all the money. If I hit the lottery, oh God. Do you know how majestic Earth is? And then go look at a fucking picture of Mars and tell me you want to go there. Jesus Christ. Sorry, we need a John Brown episode. Ooh, I would love to do one. Adelante. We're not the greatest country anymore. We're now experiencing the end of the first American Republic. I like you, Adelante, 742. I like you a lot. You speak my language. Please hit subscribe and notification bell. You are one that I will say hit subscribe and the notification bell. SK Reloaded, what's up? Good to see you. I don't know if I've seen that before. Sorry, I'm missing some of the chat. I go on little tirades, but I just do it because we got to be on the same page. I love entertaining. I love bringing news and live streaming and all that stuff. But really, there are some people that need to be weeded out. And most of them are like these white dudes in their almost 30s who have lived at home. They might never admit it or might talk about the struggles they've had and they think other people should. And I'm like, bitch. My parents died when I was young. I watched my 15-year-old brother have no parents growing up, witness both his parents die, and he has been homeless for a decade. There's no school he can fucking apply to. There's no safety net for him. He doesn't have health care. Like, get out of here. Just get out of here. Come at me when you've witnessed some of the struggle of American depravity, the rugged individualism. I don't want to hear about kids who had to work 3 jobs while living at home. Sorry, but I just can't do it. I'm too old for this. That's so real, bro. I feel that. Happy Black History Month. Amen. And it should be longer. Matt Walsh. Is Matt Walsh that one that does all those horrible comedies? Like the guys dressed as girls basketball? I've seen some more news do takes on those videos, on those movies, and it's just horrible. It's like that's the funny thing about the right and the conservatives is they are parody of themselves. You know, it'd almost be funny if they weren't so serious. They're fucking dumb. And here's the other thing. You should be woke. If you're watching this channel, you should be woke. Like George Carlin said, if you're believing in the American dream, you got to be asleep. Woke, I don't know who said it, but somebody on the alt-right said, we're going to take their words and turn them toxic. That just means they would take woke and it would mean everything bad. Communism. It would mean, I don't even know because everything scares these people. But they said they were going to turn the words toxic, and that's all it is. Woke just means, and this is the thing, I wish George Carlin was here. But it just means you're awake to what's going on. You see through the fucking matrix of the meritocracy of America. It's funny that they got rid of DEI, but every hire that the Trump administration does is nepotism or favoritism. That's it. The stream randomly spiked to Luke 15 viewers. I thought you were quoting the Bible. Yeah, the stream will spike to like 30, then to 0. I don't know. R.I.P. George Carlin, the GOAT. I force all my kids before they graduate high school to listen to Carlin. So real quick, that's just what I wanted to say. I know you're used to YouTubers just wanting everyone to subscribe, but here we got to start to cull the herd a little bit. You know, I got too many idiots telling me that that people working a minimum wage, and FDR didn't mean what he said when he said it should be the wages of a decent living, like I argued yesterday. And I just can't do those arguments. We can have a conversation, but I just can't have people in here spewing hatred towards the most vulnerable, especially when those people don't give a shit that, like, the CEO at my company makes $60,000 an hour. The CEO got paid $100 million for 4 months of work last year. He got paid more than Google CEO, a bunch of CEOs. I think he even made over 60 grand an hour. And they have no problem, like, allowing that and those people not to be taxed because of the loopholes. And they usually say, well, it's legal. They're doing it legally. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. Why do you think it's legal? Because they bought the politicians to write the loopholes. What do you do? That's being woke, is understanding that. But, you know, when there's so much money concentrated at the top and then people want to attack like single moms with kids, or kids with disabilities, or people that are struggling, or people that didn't have parents, or, you know, when you attack those people, you show me your character, and your character is dog-ish, okay? It's boo-boo. It is caca, as they say. Your character is horrible. And that's the other funny thing about these people. They'll go around quoting the Bible or saying love each other or just be nice, or, you know, like, oh, everybody, let's all get along. Namaste. They'll say shit like that. But I'm like, do you really mean it? Because in your heart, when you argue with me, what you're saying is, if you work a minimum wage job, you shouldn't have food. You shouldn't have heat. You shouldn't own a home. You always should rent. You should stress about being homeless. That's what you're saying when you say minimum wage people should not be able to have a decent living. That's what you're saying. So I just want to clear that up. I'm sorry it took this much time, but I got to be very specific because these fucking people are everywhere. And I ain't got time for you. That was my time. Let's get into... Way do you who man? Wah 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 waffle. Wah wah wama wama full. Wamaffle. Do I smoke or drink? No, I don't. Not no more. Wasn't good for you. That's because it's vertical, YouTube. I don't know what that is, too. Every accusation from the right is a confession. It's not only a confession, but a lot of times it's a projection. Like the dude I was arguing with in the comments, talking about, he's like, hypothetical. Well, he didn't say hypothetically, but it was a hypothetical. That's Ben Shapiro's whole argument is, let's say. And it's a hypothetical that's never happened. And here's the thing. When you say, like, well, if we pay people enough, they'll all be lazy. You're guessing. You're guessing that the future, everyone's going to be late. Everyone's just going to work at McDonald's because it pays enough. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Fucking, that's why, you know, we have doctors, because McDonald's doesn't pay enough. So they were like, well, I guess got to be a doctor. It's just the dumbest concept. But here's the thing. I've been alive for over 40 years. So I've watched them not pay people enough. And we're in crisis after crisis after crisis, whether it's a renting crisis, a heat crisis, an energy crisis. We are in multiple crises. People fucking voted for the price of eggs, and you're telling me, like, people are paid too much? It's like, people voted because they wanted the price of eggs to change. You know how fucking dumb that is in America? Like, our country is so poor. We're such a third world country that people were like, I voted to change the price of eggs. People really fucking said that. They really voted like that. You understand how fucking bad our country is if they're voting to make egg prices go down. If every election they're like, gas prices. It's like, hello, people aren't paid enough. That's why they care about eggs and gas. It's like we've been not paying people enough for 40 years, okay? And this is where we're at. People are voting in elections over the price of eggs. They don't care about any issues. They don't Google tariffs. They're like, eggs go down, me more eggs. Meanwhile, you can buy a fucking chicken. No, I didn't vote for Trump. No, I'm going to block you, man. I hate to say it, but you keep asking me that all the time, and I keep answering you that. So I can't do it, Noah. You might be one. You might be one of them. Stuff's too expensive for minimum wage. Well, and here's the other thing that people that don't understand. Thank you, Bandito. I can't. He comes in the chat all the time, asking me if I voted for Trump, and it's like, do you think I care about workers? I care about the minimum wage going up. Do you just put one and one together, man? Put one and one together. Look at the stats of how minimum wage has stayed the same, and the price of things, everything raised. Hello from Switzerland. We got someone from Switzerland in this house. Let's take a minute to say what's up, Tanuki. Tanuki is a Japanese raccoon, I believe. If that's where you got your name from, maybe it means something different in Switzerland. It's expensive to be poor. He's probably a bot. You're right, Jacob. But what's up, Switzerland? Please hit subscribe if you believe. Well, you're from Switzerland, so you probably believe in universal healthcare and paying people a decent wage. It is. It is. I knew it. Yes. That's awesome. Tanukis. They're so cute. So please hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Okay, so let's real quick talk about Luigi. He's got a court case up. Listen, if I had a car and a decent wage, that's the other thing these people don't understand about wages, is that if you're getting healthcare, which a lot of single moms I know that work in a few jobs and they're all minimum wage, which you can't stack on top of each other, so you just work all these hours getting paid a wage that doesn't pay, so it doesn't matter how long you work because you need more money. They also have to have healthcare come out. So when your healthcare is taken out, you're making even less because they take that out before. But I'm sure all these brilliant fucking people who work so hard know that. Anyways, hear about the Menendez. I'm guessing you're talking about the Menendez brothers. Yeah, that was in the 90s. I was there for that. So Tanuki, please, if you believe in universal healthcare, human rights, if you're anti-racist, it's not good enough to just not be racist. You got to be anti-racist. Then please hit subscribe. Welcome. I hate that I have to clarify that, but really, America is becoming just a white trash haven of Confederate flag wearing Confederate swimsuit short wearing, tell you how hard I had it, and I just want everyone else to have it harder. That dumb fucking take. No, the one recently. No, I didn't. But Mr. Mush is tanking Donnie's approval. I don't think Mr. Mush is doing it. I think Donnie's doing a great job by himself in all those co-interviews. What a weak man. What a couple of insecure, fragile snowflakes. They can't do interviews alone. They both got to sit next to each other and be like, no, really, here it is, guys. It's like they're trying to pitch you something. It's like Shark Tank for not democracy, for capitalism. For gutting a government and then privatizing the whole thing. Basically, the kids that were being abused over their whole lives ended up controversial. Yeah, that was the Menendez brothers. Maybe there's another one. I don't know if you guys see the Gabby Petito thing on Netflix. I watched that. I remember that Gabby Petito thing. It felt like a decade ago. It turns out that was 2021. And I love that the Gabby Petito thing on Netflix. What I really loved about that, if you watch that docu-series, it's like 3 episodes. If you watch that, I love that they put at the end that, for all the Native and Indigenous and women of color that have gone missing in that area, none of them got the coverage. And I also thought it was ironic that in that whole docu-series, they covered it for like a minute out of 3 episodes. But it really highlights the systemic and structural, because you think about all the women that have gone missing. If you got people of color and natives in your family and women that you love, and you think, well, if she was just white, she would get a ton of news coverage. It's heartbreaking, man. So, but that's being woke, understanding how the system works, who it was set up by, who funds it, and who it benefits. Switzerland is modeled from the U.S., but we made it a bit better. Direct democracy. Tanuki, I would love to talk to you more, honestly, and find out more about Switzerland. I love educating people because America just thinks like, well, America did it all and America did it first. And it's like, no, we actually model a lot of shit after France and Rome. And, we got a bunch of ideas that's why they called it the Great American Experiment. Friday Night Live. What's up, G-Ma? Good to see you. Gma, that's the other thing. Gma, you left a comment that I thought deeply about for a minute. You said, I don't know if I can hate half the country, but I guess I'll get there. And the thing is it's not hating people. I want to be very clear on that. Because I don't hate people. I certainly do hate ideas. Like one cat told me, if everyone's paid, then everyone will be lazy. And I said, to call everyone lazy on a hypothetical shows me how you think of the world. You think everyone's lazy. Meanwhile, I'm arguing to pay people enough while their CEOs have multiple homes, yachts, never have to worry about heat. I want people to not have to worry about heat. I want people to not have to vote about the price of eggs. So Gmon, when you leave a comment that says like, I don't know if I can hate half of America, it's not. That's not what's going on here. There are certain people we hate, okay? Free Luigi, there are people like CEOs of health insurance places, we fucking hate them. They are no good. They profit off of children dying. Be clear on that. That is their job, to deny access to kids, women, elderly, white men too. Got to include them or they get all up in arms. Little piece of... they need to be included too. They need inclusivity too. They need DEI. White men need DEI too. There's Elon Musk, who treats his workers horrifically, who took over that town in Texas and just litters the beach with his rockets. So there are people we truly hate, but most of the time it's the ideas or where they get their information. And you got to remember, a lot of these people were either abused or come from so much privilege that privilege was abuse. So really, you just got to remember this. Sometimes this is how I boil it down. At one point in America, there were separate water fountains not too long ago. And there were people that were okay with that. There were people that said, well, that's the law and that's how you got to do it. And then there were people that like, I don't give a shit. That's not right. I ain't dealing with it. I will do anything to change it. I won't stay quiet about it. I think it's wrong. Everybody, if you believe in America saying all men are created equal, then this separate but equal shit has got to go. And I am one of those people. And I don't ask anybody to hate anybody, but I do need people to understand your silence helps the powerful, the oppressors. Staying quiet in a abusive relationship isn't going to fucking make it go away. It's going to help the person abusing you. So that's where I stand. The ad homs, get at this old lady. I know what you're trying to say. So that's all it is, because I really, if anything, my anger, which Zach De La Rocha said, anger is a gift. My anger is the love for the people that are suffering. And it's just translated into that, and I can't stay quiet about it. It's sad how Joe Rogan riding him so hard. Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys seen my community post where it said, back in my day, we didn't need a Joe Rogan. We had everyone knew a best friend with a 27-year-old loser of a brother who still lived at home and smoked pot in the basement with the blacklight posters that would tell you some conspiracy theory like the Mayans made the cell phones. And I thought that's so true. So true. He can. You're right. You're right, CJ. So St. Luigi's trial is coming up. And in downtown Manhattan, somebody did a great piece of street art. I linked it down below. I retired today after 30 years of teaching. I'm playing gardening and painting art. Karen, God bless you. Teaching, one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most respected professions there are. In fact, I adore all of my children's teachers, and I think, well, I fight for you guys to want to get more money, but I also think that, it's such a unique talent to be able to do that. So, wow, more power to you. My aunt just retired from teaching too, and then had to go back to work because, retirement ain't working that good. My opinion on the Free Luigi case? Well, innocent till proven guilty. Luigi is innocent. And the terror charges that he's got are bogus, because terror charges have to be meant to influence people and scare them. It's just like the 9/11 thing. Like, that was to terrorize America. He's not terrorizing anybody. Maybe some CEOs are really scared, but they're not a class of people. They're not even many people. So I want you to check out the street art that they did. They hung a huge thing that said St. Luigi with the lead. If you follow me on any of my social media, it's pinned to the top, the St. Luigi. He is the patron saint of insurance claims adjusted. He helped remove time limits for anesthesia. So he is a great saint. I learned English in South Carolina. Yes, PR, conservative, but I never guessed they would vote for a king. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Did you see Trump's tweet, or his truther, or whatever it is, where he said he called himself the king. He said, long live the king. I'm like, America's so dumb. This is why they love defunding the schools, because they don't, they don't teach it anymore. But they forget we fought King George. Like they forgot, like we fought a whole war against the king to not have a king, and here we got people electing a guy who's calling himself king. Hope everyone that can will have a beautiful garden. Yeah, listen. I love gardening, Karen. 30 years of chemistry and mathematics. I am done. I bet you're done. Chemistry always interests me, but my best friend who died, um, me and him had that class together, and she would always separate us because we always just try to make each other laugh. So I never learned. And then finally I got into high school and I had a great physics teacher, and I was like, man, science is something so interesting to me. But I just liked goofing around more. I wish I had a mind different. um and mathematics, my God, I could not do math. So God bless you. That's special. And I really hope you enjoy retirement. Make Here's one thing I will tell you to do. There's a great, I can post, I'll find who they are in Oregon. I buy my seeds and they send live plants every spring. They send out a catalog, and they're a great locally organic farm, and you can get everything. But what I'm telling you is you'll be amazed. 1 out of 4 medicines here in the West are made from plants. So you can get plants that grow Percocets, or what is it? There's a bunch of things that if you want, you can grow the plants that make the things. And I would say fill your garden with very useful plants. Always grow peppermint. It grows wild. It's a crazy weed, but peppermint is great for stomach aches and anything with kids, or even with yourself. I'm going to go home and make some peppermint tea, actually. I mix peppermint tea with some Arizona diet green, what is it, ginseng tea. I mix the peppermint and the ginseng tea. But Karen, fill your garden, do a little research. You're a teacher, so do a little research and find all these things that, like, I would grow basil, we would grow lettuce, not well, always strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, but we grow these different herbs, rosemary. I love oregano. So fill your garden with all useful things, and throughout the summer when you're picking it, like beans and peas and broccoli. My son loves eating fresh broccoli. Isolate the peppermint. People who fought in this Revolutionary War was tough as nails. Yeah, they were. My daughter's been watching Hamilton. She loves Hamilton. I just can't stand Lin-Manuel Manuera, or whatever his name is. Because I was like, listen, I don't want to upset my daughter. She wants me to love it. But I'm like, it's like hip hop for kids. It's like Kids Bop hip hop. That's what Hamilton is. I know it was super popular, but let's be very honest. It's like, now that's what I call kids music. Hamilton edition. It's like Lin-Manuel Manuera, Manuana, Lin-Manuel, whatever his name is. He's very much like, he's number one, not a good rapper. I think he's a great poet, but he's great for Disney. Like he does Disney stuff. In fact, he should maybe teach America, because that's how stupid we are. Peppermint will take over if not in a pot. That's right. Yeah, I always plant it just on the ground, let it go. Cilantro, that's another great one. Oh, that's what you're saying. Isolate the peppermint. Yeah, you guys could do that. I don't isolate no peppermint. I'll let it go. I love peppermint, but I make tea all the time, and I'll make it with like all of it. Put away 15 grand over the years for my garden. Looking forward to it. I have a massive flower garden along my driveway, but I need to learn how to grow food. It's not much different, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of YouTubers out here. In fact, I was going to go into a cannabis growing. I do have a couple of channels. They're hidden. You're not going to find them. To teach people about growing. But yeah, look up on YouTube, Karen. I'm telling you. Monolophosaurus. But Karen, do some research, because I'm telling you, flowers are amazing. I just got my wife a weeping willow tree that we're keeping inside, and I want to keep growing it. But I'm telling you, when you can grow stuff, when you're going to make some spaghetti sauce, you go out and pick that basil, or you eat the fresh, snap peas, the sugar peas, or the fresh broccoli. There's nothing like it. So I'm telling you, that's amazing that you got that money, and I hope you enjoy every moment of it. Soak it in. When I was 8, my dad made me grow weed. I knew I liked you, Jacob. I knew I liked you. Okay, I didn't realize what time it was. I gotta wrap it up in a minute, but he had a professional grow and everything. That's awesome. Yeah, listen, one of the last times I went to visit my grandma, like 20-something years ago, she would always show me old pictures from the 70s and stuff. And she sits down and we're going through a photo album. She's like, there's our pot plant. It was over 8 feet tall. And the thing looked like a tree. I couldn't even recognize it. I was like, oh my God. My grandma was an old gypsy. She was amazing. Had crystals everywhere in her home, bunch of cats. Have a great weekend, G-Ma. All right. I hope you feel better. I don't know what a code of my nose is, but I hope you're doing okay, for real. Raid Shadows toy box. When you retire, you have to get busy. My father always said, when you retire, you don't stay busy, you get sick. I believe that, but I don't need to be busy to keep my mind right. I could sit for an hour in complete silence. Shut up. And just, I don't know. That's an art too, Karen. I'll tell you what. Work on, get some, oh God, I can't think of his name. The manifestation dude. What's his name? I have his books always with me. But look into manifestation. There's one dude from Barbados that writes all these books and gets some great books. In fact, we have a book recommendation club in our Discord if you want to join. Hopefully the link's good. Japanese guitar player is live on vertical YouTube. Oh, really? Japanese guitar player. I love YouTube. You're like, Bandito's like, yo, I got to go. There's a Japanese guitar player going live right now. Love you, Bandito. You're the man. CJ, hit like and subscribe. Thank you. Yes, please hit the like, subscribe. So listen, this flying car is basically I link all the stories I plan to talk about down below. The flying car, you got to look at it. It's in the air over like a Chevy something, one of them SUVs. I don't know which one it is. But man, it wasn't the Blazer. Remember that from the 90s, the Chevy Blazer? We used to go to school in one of those. But, oh, thank you, Jacob. Jacob, we're going to stream next on Monday. But I might do some Fortnite streaming. New Fortnite season dropped, so maybe this weekend I'll jump on, do some Fortnite streaming. I'm going to go now, make an apple pie. Amazing, Karen, amazing. Have a great night. Please hit subscribe before you go. Hit the notification bell. I want to hear all about your garden. I love gardens. I love gardening. Shadows Toy Box. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check it out. And guys, if you want to hear a great Kurt Cobain cover guy, Bunk Bed Coffin. Check him out on YouTube. Bunk Bed Coffin. I'm glad I caught you, Bandito. I feel like I don't get to see you no more. I don't feel like Karen is a bot. No, I don't believe so, but you never know. Noah's back. All right, well, with that, I think it's time that I go. I love you all. Jacob, Bandito, CJ, always good to see you guys. I'm so blessed for you all. Very appreciative for this community. And I will say that, you know, if you like Fortnite, the new season dropped. So probably going to live stream this weekend. And Jacob, hopefully I'll see you on Monday at the live stream. Check out the flying car. Check out the St. Luigi stuff. The meta layoffs while they're giving executives 2,000% bonus structure. And what was the other one? There was another one in there. Oh, the Diddy lawyer. Diddy lawyer's leaving, and he hasn't given a reason yet, but he's going to have to get approval from the judge. I will keep you tuned on that. Plus, I also read, I didn't look this up, but I read that Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Biggie Smalls' mom, Violetta, died, which I'm not sure if that's true or not, but if so, man, rest in peace. You know, I always think about that. When their mothers pass, I hope they get to reunite. Like when Afeni died, I hope she got to be with Tupac. So, you know, it's sad, but what's up, Mr. Burst Toast? Another stream. Have his you before on another stream? Mr. Burnt Toast, yeah. Ooh, Mr. Burnt Toast. Bunk, bunk, bunk. Bunk, bunk, bunk. Mr. Burnt Toast. That reminds me of like a character on Ren and Stimpy. Remember that show from the 90s? Mr. Burnt Toast. I think there was a Toast Man on there. That's why it reminds me of that. Anyways, all right, guys. So check out the news down below. I will see you all on Monday. Please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit that little thumbs up button, and join us as we build this community. We're getting bigger, man. I'm telling you. Thank you to everybody who is new and subscribed here. It warms my heart. I love building this community. I love bringing you guys news. I love getting like minds together. I love pushing the conversation forward, and I always love making fun of Joe Rogan. So if you hear any good Joe Rogan jokes, bring it. All right, Jacob, have a good one. Bandito, CJ, everybody. Soulless, let's play Fortnite. All right, peace.